Okay, how many times can I say this? But we're starting. I like to go counterclockwise if I can. We're on the east side of the house, in front of the fence. This is called grading. This is called drainage. And this drainage looks like it's working pretty good. I'll put a stick on it here in a minute. Actually, it looks like it's working pretty good because it's going back the other direction. Okay. Vinyl siding. We don't know what's behind this. You see how tight it is? You're supposed to hang siding. So usually when siding's installed, and this looks like it's a fairly recent installation, it's called hanging siding. It's supposed to expand and contract so that when it gets hot and cold and it itself expands and contracts, it doesn't buckle and become distorted. So this is like a recent vinyl installation, and you see how tight it is? See, they thought they were doing a good job. Okay, they cared to get it tight. The problem is it's not supposed to be tight like that. Moving on along. Every window has some kind of damage on it. Hail damage. Every window has some kind of hail damage on it. These are called weep holes. We're supposed to have those. Those are by design. Most of the time you only see vapor come out of them. But that's not a problem with your brickwork. We can tell that this is a cable system. This is a senior moment is what it is. Post-tension cable foundation. Now there's several different brands, different styles of post-tension cables. I don't know which one this is. It's just a post-tension, and they're all good for, all they have to do is install it right. We weren't here then. But I'm not seeing a lot of movement. I am seeing some movement. Here we got some stair-step cracks between the brick and mortar right here. We expect this. Okay, these are called control joints. Some people call them expansion joints. Call it what you will. Just like we have them out there in the street. We expect this much brick. We expect it to move. Hopefully, this will take the movement rather than it manifesting itself underneath the window right here. Let me write that down. Take a few notes so you can see my method. Stair-step cracks between the brick and mortar beneath the south east bedroom window, east wall. And coming on along. So this is kind of cracking and drying and separating every couple of years. You're supposed to come in here and seal your expansion, your control joints. Again, call it what you will. We've got erosion along this part of the garage, right on along here, because the soil's pretty darn dry. Then we got some vertical cracks, stair-step cracking right here, and some vertical cracks between the stretcher bricks. These are called stretcher bricks because they kind of stretch out. Then right here, okay, that's a shrinkage crack. Some people call them corner pops. Call it what you will, but if it's in the span of a hand, I don't know whose hand, and it's going back in, then that is a, for various reasons, the brick and the concrete have different thermal dynamics, and they expand and contract at different rates depending on the weather and their age. The pressure always shows up at the corner, and we get these shrinkage cracks, not corner pops. Now, that might hold up a brick. Or, it's also possible that it could allow passage for termites to enter the structure undetected. But that's not a foundation problem. If the cracks went the other direction, that would be different. If the cracks were over there, that would be different. But right here, maybe a brick problem, not a foundation problem. And maybe a termite problem. I'm going to put that on the termite report. I'm a writer. Speaking of termite report, this is wood mulch. Where do termites live? In the ground. Where do they eat? Dead wood. What's wood mulch? Dead wood on the ground next to your house. Oh, that's called a clue. I get it. Maybe you want to put lava rocks in there. My wife likes wood mulch next to the house. I get it. But that is conducive to wood destroying insects. It is. Moving on along. The garage is the exterior, but we're already making some other notes about it. I just want to see it. I want to say this. I was not able to put, is the inspector's reasonable opinion that it was not safe to reinstall this dead front cover plate over the circuit breakers because of the way this was installed. So a note has been sent out, is being sent out to the listing agent and let them know what the situation is, because it's really, you know, it's not ideal to leave it open like that, but I didn't feel safe putting it back. I'm glad that I was able to get it open because we found some things. Moving on along. This is a kind of a minor thing because it's way up underneath here, but there should be kick-out flashing right there. Right there, so that water doesn't dribble off the side of this. At your lintel right there, you can see where water's been dribbling off and migrating and making its way into the structure. So, boy, you're picky, bud, I know. Well, here's one. See, I can't see these lintels. They're holding brick up, and they're over our fenestrations. Now this window right here is not holding up brick, so we don't have a lintel. We don't have a lintel here. Most of the time we can't see where the lintels disappear to. But when I see the edge of the lintel, it's supposed to extend 6 inches into the brickwork. This lintel's too short. Lintel too short over the living room windows north wall. That's how I do it. Remember let's talk about grading and drainage. Does this look like drainage to you? No, that looks like swampage. That looks like swampage. Another term for it is West Nile disease. A little bit of erosion right in here. Cracks between the stretcher bricks and the brick. Moving on along. Another control joint. This one more evident than the other one, the way it's separating. This needs to be peeled out on both sides of the house. Peeled out and resealed. Moving on along. A little more erosion over here. Definitely got some dry soil. And when I say erosion, this is probably a good place, Zenny, to tell you about it. But this home does not have an irrigation system. It's got alarms. Well, kind of. Got some friendly neighbors. Okay, 4 or more steps should have a handrail. No rain gutters or diverters over the windows and the doors. Over the condensing unit. It was all hail. Coming on along. Siding. That's not hail. That's puppy dog there. Puppy dog and hail. Siding's nice and tight. We don't want it tight. I mean, we want it tight enough. And this is back where we started. So what we learned? We learned that we got some erosion. It's the southeast corner of the parent bathroom. We learned that we got just a few little cracks. We learned that we're missing a kick-out flashing. We learned that our drainage is poor on the west side of the house. We learned that our patio, and that is a massive patio. I thought this really, when I checked this out, when I first saw it, I thought this might have been a room had been added on, and maybe they intended to add a room on at one time. But for a patio, that's pretty impressive. But 4 or more steps should have a handrail. But I'm not seeing where they installed any sole plates. I'm not seeing where it used to be stuck to the wall. Any kind of modifications like that. All those subtle hints They're not here. They're not here.